Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the For Goodness Sake YouTube channel. As always, I'm your host, Messim Teklu, and today I want to talk about the future. Now, I love talking about the future. I love talking about it, thinking about it, uh, trying to convince my friends to compete with me to have a better one than each other. I love the future. I also love reading about it, watching TV shows about it, thinking about what the future might be like, and all the endless possibilities that it could be is awesome to me. Now, recently I watched a show. It's on Amazon. It's called Upload. It's an entertaining show. It's funny at times. It's kind of a cool look at where we might be trending. I don't really buy half of it, but it's cool. It's a good show. You should check it out. But I don't like how the show sets up what the future will be. The whole premise of the show is that the main character is in a world where when you die, you can upload yourself into a virtual reality that you can essentially make it like heaven, right? It's so perfectly realistic that you can upload your conscious directly to it that it's like you're still alive. And I'm sure philosophers would have an argument on whether or not that still counts as life. Uh, but here's the interesting part. They have all this technology to do that, to transfer a human consciousness from a body in our world into a computer, and that computer is so advanced that it can host a bunch of different consciousnesses. And that's a fun word to say, by the way, consciousnesses. And it can also have graphics that are like perfectly realistic and all this stuff. It's really futuristic, advanced technology. But in the real world, one of the other main characters has a parent who is dying of some lung illness that was brought on by like vapes, right? That was the idea. Is is before they knew vaping was bad. So one of the parents of one of the other main characters is dying of a lung sickness, and not only can she not afford to help him and get him the medical care he needs, they also can't fix him. They can't heal him, even if she had the money. And so this to me is like a really crappy world, like how do we have all this technology to create worlds in a sense, even if they're virtual, they're so realistic. It's might as well just call it creating a real world. And we have this technology to transfer the human mind and all of its perfect, quirks and the different personality traits that we all have into a real, virtual copy of somebody. But we don't have the technology to just provide advanced healthcare. We don't have the technology to heal people when they're sick. From a lot of diseases, right? So that got me thinking about how I really, really want the future to not be like that. In that show Upload, which is the point. It's kind of like a dystopian, political satire, right? For the record, it's the point. But I really think that it's a lame future. I think it sucks, and I think that a better future is one where, we have abundant energy. That's clean energy. We can do a bunch of stuff with it. We can go to other planets if we want to. We can. Just do whatever we want. We could build stuff that we never imagined we could build. We can heal people in ways that we didn't know were possible. Just like now we have cures for, flus, viruses, bacterial diseases. We've made progress on plenty of different diseases like cancer, HIV. We never thought, in the past at least, people never thought was possible. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, okay, this is a crappy future in this show. And I would rather have a future from a show like, maybe like something like Star Trek. I've never seen Star Trek, but I hear it's like kind of like the ultimate kind of everybody has enough of everything, and we can do cool stuff with our technology too. So I hear it's kind of like that, and it sounds like a show that I would love, by the way. So if you guys have any recommendations on which Star Trek I should watch, I'm definitely open to it. Let me know in the comments. or whenever you get a chance. But I'd like a future where we think about, wait a second, what's the coolest thing I can do? What's the, it's something that's impossible today. How can I make it possible tomorrow? That's kind of what I'd like. And so for today, I want to challenge you guys to think about just that question. What is some incredible, giant, big dream that you could just like shoot after, and see how it can make the world a better place, even if you don't get there, right? That whole shoot for the moon, and even if you fail, you'll land amongst the stars. It's so true. I think about the idea of literally going to the moon in when Americans did that. Like, it was literally impossible to go to the moon. Was not possible. Nobody knew if it was going to happen. Nobody knew, if somebody was going to get to space, and then like the Russians did, and then like we had to like get back at them, and we like beat them. We beat them to space. We beat them to the moon. It was like incredible. Same thing with flying. Like, it would just be impossible to fly. One of the Wright brothers, there's like a story of like 2 years before both brothers, first took the first flight in air. One of the Wright brothers was like, oh, there's this like event, and the president's supposed to be coming to meet us in like 18 months or something, and there's just no way we get there. Like, I don't know, we're gonna embarrass the president. I think it was like Teddy Roosevelt at the time. And 2 years later, they did it. They just like became the first people to fly. And that's just like how life works. Something is impossible, and like we try really hard to do something that is impossible, or solve a problem maybe, or just do something that we think is cool, and in the process, we turn things into possibilities, and then other people start doing them, and then it just becomes normal. Now it's normal. I'm going on a flight next week. It's not some crazy thing at all. It's totally normal. So that's kind of what I'd like to do. I'm going to tell you guys my vision, and I want you guys to drop some visions of yourself below. Or put it on a social media if with the link to this video, and just try and think about, well, what is it that I think would be amazing in the future that we don't have today? What are we missing? And just remember that and this is very obvious. I know it's super obvious, but like I think it really should be stated because we don't think about it. What happens in the future is determined by what happens today. If I jump out this window right here, it's on the second floor. So if I jump out this window, like right now, tomorrow I'll be like cut up from like the window glass, and then like I'll like be broken all over my body because I jumped out a window. But if I don't do that today, tomorrow, knock on wood, I won't be all beat up and injured like that. At least not from jumping out the window, right? So, we have to think consciously, I think, and like intentionally about, well, okay, the future is determined by what we do today. So like, what's something I want to bring about in the future, and how can I work towards it? How can I like just try and get there? And I think that it's always best to dream way bigger than you even think is possible. And like along the way, you'll have like one dream, and you'll think like, wow, this is totally huge. Like, I don't even know if it's possible. And then like you might even like start working at it and thinking like, oh wait, well maybe I can actually do this. It's not even that crazy, even though I'm not even there yet, but it's still not that crazy. So then you'll start like, I need to do a bigger dream, and that's the way to live. You need to progressively like have bigger and bigger dreams, not as you get older, actually I'm gonna like scale things down. No, that's not how it works. Like you should always be dreaming bigger, bigger, bigger. Now you can always narrow your focus, you can always work more intentionally as you get older, and all this stuff, but you always can have a bigger dream and something bigger to work on. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys mine, and I'm gonna hit you with the quote of the day, and then I need you to tell me what your dreams are. So my dream, it's crazy. I'm scared to even say it. I'm embarrassed to even say it, but I'm gonna say it. My dream is to contribute to a true world peace. All right. Now, okay, there might be like violence. You go to the store, somebody might rob you. Because not totally 100%, crime free in every part of the world. But what about, let's get to no countries are in war with each other. We find ways to de-escalate civil conflicts. Like if a country is going through a civil war, we find ways to de-escalate it immediately. We know how to, tangibly hand a blueprint to people so that they can de-escalate conflicts in between countries. We find ways to create, mutually beneficial solutions to problems that countries have with each other, or that different factions of the same country have with each other, that benefit both of them, or all the parties involved, rather than what war does, which is hurt everybody, and including the worst off in our society. So my dream is to work to create a world in which there is true, no inter-conflict between countries, and no civil wars, that we can, and when they do happen, maybe we can nip them in the butt quickly. You know what I mean? So my dream is truly world peace. I've talked to so many people who I know, and we all man, that's that's, why are we not just doing just normal stuff, talking it out like normal people? Countries are stupid, but everybody thinks it, all right? But then you still have, places in the world where there is conflict. And of course, things are more complicated, but guess what? That's my dream. You can't take it from me by complicating things. I know it's complicated, but that's why I know that one day we can get there. Okay, so my dream, world peace. I hope we get there. I believe. I have faith. Tell me what your dream is. I want to hear it. Quote of the day is by a guy, which I don't even know if this is true, but he's got a lot of quotes on Brainy Quote, all right? So if you ever have some time, look up Charles Kettering. I wouldn't want to mess it up. Check him out. He's got very good stuff on Brainy Quote. You might like it. He's got a lot of quotes. For our purposes today, we're going to focus on when he said, "Our imagination is the only limit to what we can hope to have in the future." It's true. If you think all you can do is walk, then tomorrow that's all you're going to do. If you think all you can do is run in today's moments, then all you're going to do tomorrow is run. And if you believe today you can fly, even if you can't right now, tomorrow you'll get there. All right. So that's the quote of the day. That's my dream. And let me hear yours. Give me what you got. Drop them in the comments below. Hit me up on social media. Drop the link. And, just let us know what you got. Be afraid. Or don't be afraid. Sorry. Don't be afraid to dream big. Don't be afraid to say something that sounds embarrassing, sounds weird. Hey, man, I just told you I want world peace. How crazy is that? You can't get crazier than that. But I hope you do. I hope you prove me wrong. All right, y'all. Peace and love.